Oh, I'm so uncomfortable right now, dude. Oh! Chris!
What was that?
The van! The van!
No way, there's no way.
Somewhere out in the woods, two men are asleep in their van when it starts shaking hard, like something big is trying to push it over.
Chris, what the fuck is that? The whole van's shaking.
It's nights like these that show you just how fast a quiet spot can turn dangerous after dark. And that's the case for a Cornwall van lifer from a channel called Love Sundays. Case 1. On the 11th of February 2024, a van lifer named Sean parks his van in Cornwall near an old airfield. He makes one mistake, and his comments pointed out the next day.
I am parked on the side of the road. I have parked across from a bit of a clearing, and looking at it, it looks fine at the moment, but as soon as the sun starts to go down, I think it might get a little bit creepy around here. Give it a bit of a stir.
Instead of parking deep in a clearing where no one can see him, he stops on the side of a narrow road right next to the trees. Anyone driving past can see the van. He cooks a stew, goes for a short walk in the dark woods, and goes to bed around 9.
Really is quite beautiful, just the way that the sun's kind of like coming through the trees. Enjoy my non-alcoholic beer. Well, enjoy it as much as I can, having no alcohol in it. Cozy. All being well, I'll see you in the morning.
A few hours later, a car wakes him up. It's parked close. He turns off every light and stays completely still, trying to work out how many people are outside. When he slows the footage down later, you can see a pale handprint on his side window and the shape of a face pushed up against it. There's a soft clicking sound he can't explain. He moves, they realize someone's inside, and they drive off fast. He falls back asleep.
A car's just pulled up, and it sounds like they're walking around the van.
So I was just woken up because I heard a car pull up, and it was at the front of the van. So I got up, turned my phone on and filmed, and as soon as I drew the curtains back, they drove off. They got to the end of the road, turned around, and then came back and parked behind the van. I don't even know, what they just think that there's just some random van parked here that they might be able to break into, or I don't know, but it's a little bit freaky. It makes me kind of like, I'm not moving, but I don't want somebody breaking in thinking there's no one in here, because that would be a right pain. Hopefully I'll get a good night's sleep.
He doesn't find out what really happened until the morning, when his door won't open. Someone has tied zip ties around the outside door handles, pulled tight, locking him inside his own van. If his heater had caught fire in the night, he'd have been trapped in the back with no way out. He only gets out because there's no wall between the back and the front seats, so he climbs into the cab and cuts the ties from there. Then his viewers spot something in the daytime footage. On his van, you can only open the fuel flap when the passenger door is open.
What a miserable day. I slept surprisingly well, considering after that car pulled up outside and then drove off, I didn't hear anything else for the rest of the night. So from then I actually slept all right. And see how miserable the weather is. My door's stuck. What the actual see that? I don't even think I can shut the door on it. So when I said I got left alone last night, it doesn't look like I did get left alone, does it? I didn't even hear anyone out on the side door. Right, I've got to work out how to do this. Don't think I've got any pliers. Good job. I haven't got a bulkhead. There we go. Oh, it's miserable out here. So here's obviously just people wanting to f*** about and just be funny, I guess, but how dangerous is that, locking someone in their van? Let me check the back door. Well, there's nothing on this one because they wouldn't have been able to tie it to anything, would they? There's no way they could have done that door anyway. Now this is interesting, I didn't actually notice this at the time. But if you look at that fuel cap there, there's fingerprints. So now I'm wondering, was their intention to steal my diesel? And if so, did they cable tie the doors so that they could make a quick getaway if they got rumbled? But they're obviously not very intelligent thieves, because anyone would know on these transit vans, you have to open the passenger door to allow you to actually open the flap to get to the diesel.
There are fingerprints on his fuel cap. He never finds out for sure if that was the plan. As he drives off the next morning, he says the thing the whole trip comes down to. It wasn't the woods, it almost never is. But a scare doesn't have to be real to feel real. Sometimes it just has to be loud. Case 2. The Scream at the Viewpoint. This next one is from a channel called Will's Whereabouts. It's a cold night in January during lockdown, and Will is trying to sleep in a small car camper at Box Hill in Surrey.
I think this will do for tonight's stealth camping. Freezing cold! Tonight's stealth camp sounds like I'm at a bloody drag race. Anyway, as I was saying, I am in a very familiar place. I actually used to live in this area with my parents a good few years ago now, and I used to work at a restaurant just round the corner, which is where I had my first ever job when I was about, how old? 16, 17 years old. Oh, lovely stuff.
About 14 minutes in, the quiet breaks. It's high, raw, and human. It's the kind of clip other channels would just call a skinwalker. For a few seconds, it really does sound like someone being attacked right outside his door. Then it comes again, and it doesn't stop. He's frozen in the driver's seat, wide awake, with nowhere to go. It's coming down through the trees from somewhere past the viewpoint, too far to see and too close to sleep through. And it won't stay one thing. It barks like an animal, then stretches into a long human cry, then breaks and climbs back up, like something learning how to use a voice that isn't its own. His viewers landed on fox screams or muntjac deer, animals that can sound exactly like a person being torn apart. That doesn't make it better. It means whatever is out there could be almost anything, and it's close enough that he can hear it change. So he does the only thing he can. He locks the doors, kills the lights, and lies in the dark listening to it scream in a voice that's almost human but never quite human. He never gets out to look. Whatever was making it is still up there when the clip ends. Case 3. What the Dog Saw. On the 28th of May, 2024, Kenny of all trades drives his truck camper into the Pillsbury State Forest in Minnesota. He's known this place since high school. He spends the first afternoon clearing out a campsite that squatters had trashed and left behind, because this forest is close enough to town that people with nowhere else to go come here to disappear.
Maddie and I found a campsite that was completely trashed, and we spent all afternoon cleaning it up. The good news is I've only seen 2 vehicles out here so far, and a couple of open spots. And the spot that I want to go to, it's up on a steep hill. You're not going to be bringing a camper back there. I've only seen tents back there. I first found this spot probably 10 years ago. We're not too far out of town, so sometimes the people that come out here, they're not out here to camp. They're looking for a place to stay. Got a really good control of Toby. I don't want him spooking any horses. Come on, Toby. I figured we could check out the lake across the road.
Hours later, he takes his dog Toby, a 6-month-old pit bull, down an old logging road. At a normal, ordinary bend, Toby stops dead. His ears go flat, the hair down his back stands up, and he stares at one spot in the trees, making a low sound Kenny has never heard from him before. Not a bark, not a growl, something underneath both.
I've been hearing the beeping of big trucks this morning, so I'm sure that they're inside those cuttings working. Not sure if I'll get in them with the bike or not. This lake is so beautiful. What is it? What, Toby? Come on. I got no clue what he sees, but something up the road has got his attention. What's going on, Toby? He always sticks by my side. I have no idea what he sees up there, but maybe we won't go that way.
Kenny stands right next to him and looks at the same stretch of road. To him, it's empty, and it has gone completely silent. No birds, no wind, no movement. The kind of dead quiet that isn't supposed to happen in the middle of the day. But Toby is a young dog who chases everything, and right now he's frozen and begging to leave.
We'll go back. Come on, Toby. Yeah, he don't like it over there. Okay, we're not going that way. I have no clue what's got him freaked out. I'm not going to go over there with the bike either. Not after that. No, he wants to go right back to the camper. That was weird. Want to get up in your chair? Come on. Weird. I've never had him act like that before. You go down? There you go. You'll have to let me know down in the comments. What do you think is over there? I've smelled bear before. I know it sounds weird, but you can smell bear when they're in the area. I have no idea why he freaked out like that. Weird.
Kenny turns them around, and Toby runs the whole way back to the truck without once looking behind him. Kenny says the fear coming off the dog put a cold chill down his own spine. Whatever was standing at that bend, Toby could see it, or hear it, or smell it, and Kenny never could. A dog that trusts you doesn't lie about what's out there. Some nights it's the animals that know first. Other nights, it comes while you're still asleep. Case 4. The bang beside their heads. Emma and Reese have lived in a van for 11 years when they post a video they call their most terrifying night. On the 31st of July 2023, they pull into a spot they hadn't really checked, make some tea, and go to bed. Sometime in the dark, something hits the side of the van, hard, right next to their heads. Not a knock. A full force hit, inches from where they're lying, loud enough that both of them are up and shouting before they're even awake.
There's been some noises outside. We've heard like a lot of people pulling up. And we've already heard quite a bit of like banging around and stuff going on outside. We don't know what it is, we don't know what's happening. I said to Reese to like go and check and see. And he's had a look out, we can see quite a few people, quite a few cars.
I don't want to get outside because I don't know what I'm walking into.
I've had to like feed Daisy like 5 sausages already because there's so much shit noise, it's just out back. 30 minutes.
Yeah, about 30 minutes down the road.
We found another park.
Just shaking.
Poor Daisy, she's literally shaking.
So they basically, a load of people ran off laughing, and we heard them drive off. Had a look at the van. Can't see any damage to the van, but obviously it's dark, it's night time, it's the middle of the night, so...
It was just like a loud bang, so basically like a really loud bang. It was right next to my head, so I didn't know what it was, so I apologise for my language. But it was just this really loud noise, and then like Reece says, we just heard like a lot of laughing. It seems like it was probably like, you know, young lads or something like that, I don't know, but they're obviously old enough to drive because they were in cars. As soon as we knew it had sort of gone quiet, we've just obviously got straight in van, we've driven off, we've made sure nobody's following us.
And then, from outside in the black, laughing, more than one voice, people had walked up to their van in the middle of nowhere, hit the wall exactly where their heads were resting, and stood there in the dark laughing about it. They don't wait to find out why. They climb into the front, start the engine, and pull out into pitch black with no idea how many people are out there or what they want. They can't find a mark on the van. No one follows. No one says a word. The laughing just stops. That's the part that stays with them. Not the bang, but the laughing, and the fact that they never saw a single face. Someone found a couple asleep in the dark, walked right up to the one thing keeping them safe, frightened them for the fun of it, and disappeared back into the dark without ever being seen. Sometimes the people outside want you to hear them. Sometimes they come right up to the glass. Case 5. The Man at the Glass. Back to James. He'd lived in his van for 2 years without a single bad night, and he admits he used to watch videos like this and feel a little smug, certain it would never be him. On the 16th of January 2025, he drives to Sunderland to film, finds what looks like a perfect quiet lane, and goes to sleep.
Hey up, hope you're alright. It's 5:29 AM and I have just had the most terrifying experience of my life. I'm only still just getting over it. So let me give you a little bit of context of what's happened. Right, I've lived in my van for 2 years, and you know when you see these videos and I got the knock and stuff like that, I've always been, never happened, never gonna happen, never happened to me, never had any scary experiences like that. Not when I've been in my van anyway. I mean, I've had scary experiences, but not when I've been in my van. Anyway, so last night I've come to Sunderland because I'm doing a vlog. My next vlog's going to be about Sunderland. And I found a good place to park up. In fact, what I think is a cracking place, which is out in sticks a little bit. There's not much going on, and I'm on this lane. I was up late doing all my research for my Sunderland video, and I'm thinking, oh, I need to get some sleep or else I'm going to be shattered in the morning. So got in bed, fallen asleep. Next thing, banging above my head.
A little after 4 in the morning, banging on the roof rips him out of a dead sleep. He says it felt like his soul left his body. He pulls the blind back an inch, and there's a man's face pressed flat against the glass, already staring into the dark at exactly where he's lying.
And you know when something completely... You know what it's like when you're fast asleep and something jolts you so much, you don't know what planet you're on. It's like my soul left my body, my heart. So I get up and I'm like, what's that? Who's that? What's going on? I didn't know where I was. And I pulled blind down. That was my first reaction. And there's a bloody face at the window. The most terrifying thing that has ever happened to me. Face up at my window. I'm never going to get that image out of my head. It's giving me goosebumps on the back of my neck now. And then there was some shouting and some banging.
What comes next lasts nearly 40 minutes. The man circles the van and never stops talking. He shouts about his father and grandfather being miners, about being stabbed in the head, about a private footballer and what it means when you put on the head, none of it connecting to anything real. And then he says the thing that changes the whole night. He points out that the van is still lit up inside. He knows James is in there. He has known the whole time, and he isn't leaving.
You're going to go and take us to the station, I'll put them to this one. you see a on the front follow with the pit. The follow with the follow with the pitman and on the back. I'm not the third door. I'm not the private rig. I'm not a first is the English footballer. And I reef, I don't know what it means. You see when you put on the dead people who you're supposed to look constant. I never heard this one. I've got new modern technology. You've got full stuff like this on there. You're a camera on, fucking out higher.
So I've got some nutter shouting outside van. Get my shoes on.
James can't drive away. He's facing a dead end. His windscreen is blacked out with blinds and fogged up completely, and his outside cameras have frozen over and stopped working. He's blind, boxed in, and the man is pacing inches from the bumper. So he takes his heavy camper table apart and holds it against his chest like a shield, sitting in the dark, following the man by the sound of his feet. When the man slams the wall, James slams back from the inside before he can stop himself.
It's still there, look. It's coming back. Laid in bed, my hand's shaking, bloody hell. I'm laid in bed with my head up that end, and then there's a massive almighty bang. Absolutely scared the life out of me. I didn't know what I thought it was. I just thought it was some, like it was some drunk or something like that. So I pulled blind down slowly, because I've got CCTV, but they're all like misted up, so you couldn't see anything. I pulled blind down slowly, and there's a bloody face at the window. Then he wrote something up that window. I don't know, I'll have a look at that when it's light. So I've taken my table down, and I've got that. And I've just sat here probably for about 30 minutes. Right, he's moved on, he's gone down there. I don't know if there's some more motorhomes down there that he's shouting at now. I think it's probably pretty harmless. That just freaked me out though, that. I don't know what to do. I don't think I've got enough space to do a U-turn here. I don't know if you can see him at distance. Another van's come and he's buggered off now. I don't know what's going on down there. I think there's some sort of, I don't know, farm or depot or something like that.
Eventually the shouting moves off toward other vans further down the lane, and a set of headlights finally scares the man away. Then it gets light, and James goes to look at the back window. While he sat trapped inches away, the man had reached up and written something in the mist on the glass with one finger. Viewers who zoomed in could read it. It says, "I love you." He never learns who the man was, why he chose that van, or what he meant, only that a stranger stood outside his home in the dark for 40 minutes, knew he was hiding inside the whole time, and left him that. He never went back to that lane. He never stopped living in the van either. Every night so far has had a person behind it. The last two don't, or at least no one has ever been able to prove one. Case 6. Alone on the Hill. This next one is from a channel called Travel Tales, a couple who filmed their life on the road. It went up on the 26th of March, 2023, and for most of it, it's a good night. They drive up to the top of a lonely hill, deep in a forest, where there's a fire pit and a few benches waiting for them. The view is beautiful. The place is empty. There's one other van parked far off in the distance, and that's it. They light a fire, sit out in the cold, and say more than once how nice it is to be all the way up here, alone.
Welcome back. It's so nice to have you here. So last week we couldn't find a park up with a fire pit they were all out of order. Maybe they don't maintain them in winter. But I found one and we're going there right now. It looks really beautiful because it's in the forest. So I'm so looking forward to get there and light up some fire. It's a bit chilly now. Woo!
The ground is too tilted to sleep on, so they roll a little further down the hill, find a flatter spot, and go to bed with the forest quiet around them. Nothing about the evening warns them. They fall asleep sure they have the whole hill to themselves. Sometime in the dark, that feeling falls apart.
We're back on the road because we couldn't sleep where we were. Basically, there were a lot of people outside our van and we didn't feel safe there, so we had to leave. We were asleep and we heard a lot of noise coming from outside. We think that there were people having a laugh, and a chat. But it turned out to be a nightmare for us. We're very tired right now. Sorry, but we're in a complete shock right now.
More shocked than anything, really. Just basically these guys, I thought they were just having fun because I could hear like music, but they were a few meters away at least. And then I heard like voices outside the van, so they came up to the van and started hitting. I'm sure I heard one like on the bonnet.
Yes, and me and Holly were...
Yeah, Holly started barking.
Yeah, we were in a complete shock. Even
Yeah,
now,
sweet.
we're still a bit... We've been driving for like 15 minutes without any maps.
Yeah, just driving straight.
We're so scared that they were going to follow us. That's what I thought, to be honest.
No, I don't think so. They went back in the car. Just
Yeah.
a bunch of idiots, I think. First they were banging on the van at the front, and that's what kind of woke me up, and then I think there were more than one. Some were banging on the side as well.
Yeah, but the ones on the side were really loud.
Yeah.
That me and Holly jumped.
Yeah, well, at first I thought it was someone like trying to get into the van, but just kids, I think. Because I think when we turned on the lights, they just ran into the car again. We're not going back there, that's for sure.
No, that's definitely not. No, we didn't feel safe, so that's why we left. Sorry, we're not in a lovely state right now, but yeah, that's how it is.
It starts as sound, voices, and music from a car, close enough to hear, but far enough to shrug off as people just messing about. Then the voices get closer, and then something hits the van. Not one knock, a hard hit on the front, then the sides, then more than one side at the same time. People they never heard arrive are standing around the van in the dark, hitting it from every direction at once. Their dog Holly is barking. Whatever safe feeling they had inside those metal walls is gone in seconds. The only thought either of them has is that someone is trying to get in. They don't open the door. They don't look. They climb into the front seats and drive straight off the hill into pitch black with no idea which way they're going. No map, no plan, just away. For 15 minutes they keep driving, too scared to slow down, sure the whole time that the people are following them. No one ever comes to the window. No one ever shows a face. They never find out how many there were, or who they were, or what they wanted with two people asleep in the middle of nowhere. That's the part that stays with them. Not the banging, but what it means. They went looking for the most empty, quiet place they could find, a hilltop with no one around for miles. And that was the exact spot a group of strangers walked out of the dark and surrounded their van. The place they picked because it felt safe was the trap, and they drove away never knowing who they'd left up there. Case 7. The Van in the Demon Forest. The last night belongs to Chris Baird and his friend Jasko, in a stretch of New York forest the locals call the Demon Forest. It comes with a long history. Strange activity going back over 100 years. 7 deaths across 12 years that people blamed on a single killer, and others who walked in and were never found.
Guys, we are back. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris Baird. Tonight I'm here with my best friend Jasko. Behind the camera, we're in a new forest. Well, I say new forest, but we're in a new area of a forest called the Demon Forest. Now, the reason they call it that is exactly what you would think. Demonic, satanic rituals, people going missing, serial killers. There's a lot of crazy stories. There are many, many deaths reported in this forest. One of the craziest places we've ever been. We've been here for about 6 hours now. We're actually getting ready to go to bed. We had to pick a new campsite because of what we just experienced in this forest. This is terrifying. The footage you guys are about to watch is going to be scary. Please, if you guys can't handle it, watch with a friend, leave the lights on. I do not recommend watching this video with the lights off. It might scare you too much, but we're catching some really good activity. People here, we believe there are actually people here trying to mess with us, or they're not happy that we're here. I'm not sure what's going on.
Chris makes a mistake early that his viewers shout at the screen about. He walks off into the trees and leaves the van wide open, keys inside, the one safe place they have standing open in the dark from the very start.
To say the least.
Oh. Was that phone? What was that?
That was your phone.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
You're good. It's been a hot minute. We were gone for so long on the trip in Indiana and Ohio. What?
Deception.
Deception.
Okay.
Okay.
What was that, though? Hello?
No. Hello?
Anybody out there? We've been hearing some weird stuff.
Brian.
What the That was like a footstep, like...
Bro.
I just told you, too. I was like, I love filming when it's fall time because you can hear, like, if something approaches us, and that literally sounded like...
Right there. The name Brian is the name from a story I found. I swear to God. I swear to God.
Okay, so just give me a rundown. Like, what happened to Brian?
So Brian was essentially, the person who told the story was a viewer of ours, a fan. Their uncle Brian went missing in the 1980s.
Oh, fuck.
One missing was never found. I believe they were involved in some like gang type motorcycle activities.
Film this then? I don't want to like if it's a subject.
Where we are, it's a big area. We're probably not even near where this all happened.
It's a common name.
No, it's a common name, but it's just very weird that the timing of that. What?
I swear to God, I thought I just saw something over here.
What?
I didn't want to die here.
Shut the fuck up. Shut
the
Okay. This is getting weird. This is so weird, dude. Guys.
From there, it barely lets up. Rocks landing in the bushes. Footsteps that aren't theirs. Their spirit box starts giving back names from a missing person story Chris had read aloud earlier that night. Then he asks it a plain question about the local murders, and it answers with one word: crocodile. Some tie it to an old demon of lies, others to something that wears animal shapes, and no one can say what it was meant to mean.
All right,
Hello? Bro, did you hear that?
Yes, I heard that. You see me, you hear me. This is crazy.
Find my grave.
Find my grave.
Brian.
Where is your grave?
Oh, I'm so uncomfortable right now, dude.
Oh! What was that?
The van! The van!
No way, there's no way. Get the fuck out of here. Who's out here?
Take your phone.
Was the wind?
Yeah, okay.
It's not even closed all the way.
You will hear children.
You will hear children? Bro, look at my bag. Look at my bag.
What's wrong with it?
It was zipped up and closed when we left. You can check the footage. There's no shot, dude.
You told me to grab your flashlight from here.
Was it like that?
No, your
Did
flashlight
you
was
like
up front. I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, you can check the footage back. I don't... Well, at least it didn't take your muffin.
Oh, dude. I need that.
No, but seriously, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. Are your stuff still here? Actually,
get in here because I really don't want to be here enough.
I don't either. Lock the door, close the door.
Late that night, both of them lying down to sleep, the van starts to move. Not a creak. It rocks, hard, side to side, the way a van that size only moves when something heavy is pushing it. Jasko screams to wake him, and for 1 second, in the panic, the striped blanket beside Chris looks like it has something underneath it, before it flattens into nothing. The footage cuts out soon after.
Alright, dude. Let's get in the van. What the fuck else? I'm good. Wow.
Chris.
What?
What the fuck is that? The whole van's shaking.
Hello?
What the fuck? Literally, the whole van was shaking.
I felt it a little bit. Sorry, I was so fucking tired. There's somebody outside. I don't see anything out there.
Oh.
What the fuck was that?
It was on the window. In the front.
I just heard a whistle. Hello? see anything out there. You wanna come look?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. What the fuck is going on?
Dude, it literally felt like the whole fucking place was just shaking.
Tip over. Oh. Wait, what the fuck?
What happened?
My light just died.
Wait, what?
My light just shut off.
Hold on.
Bro, no one touched it. My camera's fucking. My light just fucking died.
There's gotta be a flashlight here somewhere.
Yeah.
It did. It died. Holy shit.
See anything out there?
No. Is there anything?
They never went back with an answer, and people are still arguing in the comments about what could rock a van that size in the middle of an empty forest. Watch enough of these back to back and the pattern is hard to miss. Whatever is waiting in the dark is almost always another person, someone who shouldn't be there, standing closer than you'd ever guess, who you never get to see clearly and never get to understand. That alone should be enough to keep you out of these places, but it's the handful that were never people at all, the light that climbs on its own, and the van that rocks with nothing beside it, that people come back to watch at 2 in the morning, because those are the only ones no one has ever been able to explain away.